Hello, everybody. Hope you have a great day, everyone. Hi, this is Queena again, and welcome to episode number 42. Right. So again, right, we have another day of bullish news, right, on the prices, and of course, Bitcoin price strongly bullish, right. And now the thing is it has been holding past 4,000 level, which is a very important level. But the next important level to really, that it needs to test is really 4,400. Yeah. Let's look at this news. The recent strong move higher in Bitcoin is approaching critical resistance, with the BTC USD pair currently trading firmly above the 4,000 level. Yeah. So now so if it passed the 4,400 level, key resistance is then found at the 5,000 to 5,800 level. So it's very close then to the 6,000 level, which was holding for a long time, for the best part of this year, right? And if the BTC USD pairs fails at current level, sellers may test towards the 3,500 and 3,300 support levels again. Yeah. But basically, I guess the thing is, we have seen a lot of analysts. I've actually looked at a video where actually, right, Ed Bugos, who is the partner of Jeff Brick, right, at Dollar Vigilante, Ed Bugos was the person who actually called the top of the, Bitcoin bubble at early 2018, and he was also the one who, correctly called the tech bubble way back in 2000, 2000. So now he's basically saying that we are already at the bottom. Yeah. So and both Jeff Berwick and Ed Bugos think that really now is the time, right, where we really need to, for people who don't have, definitely now is the right time to actually go into the market and get some, right, before the rally kicks in. Yeah. Okay, another positive news that that again supporting why, if people who hasn't been in, now is really the time to go in, because backed BAKKT's futures contracts is set to be launched. And what happened was, and has been in the news for a long time already, right? Their initial launch date was pushed back from December 12th to January 24th. And now why are they in the news is because they have been, they're in the news because they are saying now they're quite close to getting the green light from the authorities. Because the thing is this, they have always said that, the January 24th date is pending, is subject to regulatory approval. So now it's a very positive news, because now that they're saying they're very close to getting the approval. So then, right, the January 24th deadline should not be then postponed further. That's basically it. And why is it so important is because with BACKT, right, the first thing that we know that they're going to do is definitely for sure have a Bitcoin futures contracts that's going to be physically delivered. That means, right, there will then be a demand for the actual Bitcoin itself. And then with that, right, that means it's also then facilitating institutional trading of such futures contracts. Hence, right, it will then that will be a boost to really the price, and the fundamentals of Bitcoin, and then with that it should drive up the whole crypto market, because Bitcoin has been really the key driver behind all the rally as well. Yeah. So basically that's the key points of this news. Now this is another very, very important news on regulations, and this is the US SEC, right, Securities Exchange Commission. They basically are looking to change the 72-year-old securities definition to exclude cryptocurrencies. Now, this is the problem that has long plagued the industry, because there's not enough regulatory clarity on what is the US stance on cryptocurrencies, and US being the biggest market today, right? So this is very important. Let's just look at it. Crypto founders and investors have pushed back on the idea that stocks and cryptocurrencies should be defined by the same rule book. Now, two congressmen who are, more positive on the long-term potential, and they're very pro Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are looking to change that with the Token Taxonomy Act, a bipartisan bill being introduced to the House. This would amend the Securities Exchange Act, which established the current structure for what a security is and adds a new definition for digital tokens. These decentralized networks don't fit neatly within the existing regulatory structure. This is a step forward in finding the right way to regulate them. Yeah. Congress may finally bring the cryptocurrency industry what it has loudly been calling for, which is regulatory clarity. Two congressmen are introducing a bill Thursday that would exclude digital currencies from a decades-old definition of a security. The legal definition might seem like an insignificant change, but it has become such a heated issue for those in the industry who say the law is outdated for a digital asset class. Now, the thing is this, why is regulatory clarity so important? Is because, right, institutions really need to have, very clear regulatory approval so that they can, trade safely into this asset class. And, we're talking about institutions with trillions of dollars. So, even if they just put 1% of their money into this space, right, it really would just double out, many times multiply the current market cap of this space, and that would really be a good boost, to the rally. So, and they went on to say, right, in the early days of the internet, Congress passed legislation that provided certainty and resisted temptation to over-regulate the market. Our intent is to achieve a similar win for America's economy and for American leadership in this innovative space, right? Which is actually a bit, it's a bit, how do I say, a bit slow in coming, really, because a lot of the other countries like Switzerland, Singapore, right, and even UK and France now, they are looking to actually making their regulation much more friendly to crypto, but US is really one of the, lagged behind. Yeah. The thing is this, so let's just quickly go to it and see how did we get here. So what actually happened that led to these two congressmen suddenly so pro-cryptocurrency, right? The bill was actually months in the making and was largely a result of a roundtable hosted by Davidson in September. More than 50 industry participants, including experts from Fidelity, NASDAQ, State Street, Andreessen Horowitz, and the US Chamber of Commerce, gathered on Capitol Hill to discuss regulatory shortcomings. At the Washington Roundtable, advocates claim that until regulation is crystal clear and updated for the modern digital asset class, the crypto industry can't flourish or mature. If regulators don't keep up, founders warned that innovation in these emerging markets will flee overseas. That's exactly why, a lot of the regulators are actually turning their stance, right? We have seen across the world, really, from Asia, we have Korea, Thailand, and, now, of course, increasingly UK, France, so it's the Europe, and now US, is really, they cannot be a laggard anymore. It's really, I think, what they start to recognize. And it is interesting that I thought the industry participants, including Fidelity and NASDAQ and State Street, these are very, very large banks, large players in the traditional financial market, and they are actually there to actually, lobby actually for crypto-friendly regulations. So don't you see a very similarity, right? That basically this thing is really going to be huge, right? Because why would you see big banks, right, lobbying to the regulators, right? Because come on, they have better things to do, right? Why would they actually lobby for crypto-friendly regulations? Yeah, think about that. Because they have stakes and they are going to offer products, right, that in this space, so they really want to have crystal clear information. Yeah. Yes. Now, along the same line as well, right, Galaxy Digital Trading is basically also saying current rally could be leading to something bigger. So the point is this: short rallies are exactly what happens before a real rally ensues. This could set up a more sustained buy the dip market as we look to the upcoming institutional launches to give this leg. So basically, this current small rally, right, is basically should see more momentum in January when we see more institutions coming into place. The two big ones are actually Fidelity going to have their crypto trading desk, and then backed launch, and then that will actually have a futures that is physically delivered by Bitcoin. So those two are the really big ones that are coming up. And of course, NASDAQ is also going to launch crypto trading. So yes, these are the three big things that should give make the rally even stronger. Yeah. So it is also interesting that this article that is Bitcoin price analysis bulls keep buying on dips, that actually quotes Binance co-founder Xiaoping Zhao. Short rallies are exactly what happens before a real rally ends. So this could set up a more sustained buy the market as we look to the upcoming institutional launches to give these legs. I don't know, both sounds very similar, right? Yeah, and of course, not surprised that XRP makes the news again. Whale spotted 20 million XRP moved to Bitstamp, and interestingly, this transaction, they're making it very clear that this transaction take place is 20 million XRP tokens that are being moved. And what is interesting is actually the totally small amount of fees, and that is why it is so amazing, yeah, because the transfer cost of 2 million Ripple is only 0.000045 XRP, which current price of about 40 cents, right? That's definitely like less than $1, so that's just highlight again, right, really the benefits of XRP because it has the cheapest transaction fee. Yeah. So this is interesting. 70% of respondents prefer being gifted money in digital currency by a survey. Now, what is most interesting about this survey is who is the person conducted it. It's actually Bank of England, the central bank of UK, has actually surveyed that in this Christmas season, if you receive money, what's your favorite way to get it? 70%, which is an overwhelming majority, prefer it in the form of digital currency. Now, the implication can be a few things, right? It can be a negative one where the government really they want to test to see what is the appetite for a digital currency, because they could issue a government backed sovereign digital currency, and that will be really bad, right? Because if then everything can be tracked, then it is worse, then it is even more centralized, right? Now, but on the flip side, right, we can also see it as then people are open to cryptocurrencies, they're open to using cryptocurrencies. Now, the thing is this, we really need more people to actually come on board and understand it fully, and actually really, I guess, how do I say this, really have a stake in the decentralized cryptocurrencies, because you really need the people power to make sure that the sovereign the sovereign digital currency, right, even when it comes to place, even when it's issued, it will not be widely adopted. There will always be a strong alternative like Bitcoin, right, like Monero, which is decentralized, that will be adopted, that then gives alternative to people, right, who just not only have to use the sovereign digital money. That is my fear actually, right? But at the same time, so that's why hopefully with YouTube channels like this, right, that it will get the words out there. So if you have friends who still not in the know, it's best to spread the word now, right? You can feel free to share this video as well. Yeah. Coinbase launches in more markets and plans aggressive 2019 expansion. Now, to me, the key implication of this news is really that basically they are already expanding to a lot of markets this year, so they're going to expand to even more markets next year. And more importantly, they're going to tie up with more banks, so it is very easy for people, to transfer money both into the exchange to buy cryptocurrency, and when they withdraw money, it is also very easy for them to go back to fiat and to spend on other things. So my point is that so that just shows that another big player that are continuing to be committed in this space, right? And they are most likely also going to prepare for another rally, where people then really need to get in, so that it is very easy for them to get in, because then all the bank arrangements would have been already set up, right? And bank transfers, of course, will be cheaper than using credit card to buy. Yeah, that's really my take on this news. And another very good news is Pan-African Bitcoin Exchange, Kubits, goes live, launches OTC wallet. So for now, right, we have quite a lot of big exchange in Asia, right, in US, Europe, UK, right, major, but Africa is actually, missing. So now, right, it is really complete the puzzle, where we have a Pan-African Bitcoin Exchange, Qubits, that goes live. Of course, they trade major cryptocurrencies as well, not just Bitcoin, which are 22 digital assets, which include, of course, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, their own in-house digital coin called KoinBX, Ripple, Dash, Zcash, and Doge, among others. Yeah. The thing is, so this is very cool. Yeah. So basically, it means that so people can actually use fiat money to buy the cryptocurrency. So then it's very easy for the very convenient for the people who want to buy cryptocurrencies, right? Especially for newbies. And for entry-level accounts, they don't need to provide any identity. Only for a bit higher, richer customers who need to make withdrawals of 10,000 or more, I believe it's daily, will be expected to complete the full know your customer requirements. Yeah. So this is very good, I thought. Yeah. But on the flip side, there are, fraud cases that, have I would say a bit downside effect on the market. So hopefully this is not too much, right? I mean, this is just one of those cases when that's why you need regulators to come in and actually regulate this space, right? Because in Korea, the number one cryptocurrency exchange, Upbit, have actually, they were indicted for offering fraudulent transactions and swindling money from investors. And basically, they are saying they actually sold 11,550 bitcoins to around 26,000 customers and pocketed 150 billion won, right? Of course, they deny it, but let's just see what happens later. But basically, this kind of news, because being fraud and scams, are all not good for the market, which is still very nascent, right? Facebook to develop its own stablecoin for remittances. Now, there's already a lot of news weeks before that says, because Facebook is hiring about 40 people in their team, right, which has the big blockchain developers kind of title, they are definitely planning something. So now finally we have a more how do I say, more credible news, which is sources familiar with Facebook, still not an official report from Facebook, but it's the sources familiar with them, saying that they're going to have, right, they're basically going to use WhatsApp to actually introduce a money transfer or via blockchain, and they're going to have their own cryptocurrency, which is like a stable coin equivalent. Yeah. And they're going to first eye the India market for their remittances. And it is, of course, given Facebook, although a lot of bad publicity nowadays, they still have 2 billion users. And in India, they have 200 million monthly active users. So still a huge base, really. And of course, when they introduce this, it will be a lot of people who will use their coins and, to try out, at least to try out first, right? Definitely. So definitely it's going to be a big thing when they launch it, and it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens. Yeah, whether it will have a positive effect on the overall crypto market as a whole as well. Yeah. Then the other thing is, of course, India government is actually not pro Bitcoin. They're not very, their regulations are still not friendly towards crypto like China. Although they say they're looking into it, but still no concrete good news yet from them. But then with Facebook coming in to say that they're eyeing India market for the remittance using, Facebook coin, right? So it might be that India might be looking at introducing more crypto-friendly regulations, so which again will be a good thing for the overall crypto market as a whole. Yeah. Lastly, UAE to finalize initial coin offering regulations in mid-2019. So this is definitely positive because they are definitely looking to see how, right? So that basically that means they are saying that they are not disallowing ICOs. It's just maybe, probably limit like Russia, right? Russia is actually saying, people can invest up to $9,000 per year, right? $1,500 per project. But this ruling only apply to apply to normal individuals, but not the rich people. So again, so UAE could be looking at similar regulations. So this again, regulatory clarity is always good, right? As I always say. So I think overall, I think it's very positive. So that's all I have for today, and hope you have a great day wherever you are, right? And if you like this, please feel free to share, leave a like or subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and hope you have a great day and live with high energy, live with passion. God bless.